Right now, we have some breaking news, major news from President Biden in the final hours of his presidency. We want to go to our chief Washington correspondent, John Karl, for more on this. And John, we know there are now preemptive pardons being issued by President Biden for those who were targeted during the campaign, received threats from Donald Trump.
This is a major development, a big last move, one of the last moves for President Biden. As you know, George, during the campaign, Donald Trump spoke about retribution. He and his supporters talked about prosecuting people like Anthony Fauci, members of the January 6th committee, Mark Milley, General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who Trump even suggested could face the death penalty. So President Biden has just issued preemptive pardons for all of them, saying, quote, these public servants have served our nation with honor and distinction and do not deserve to be targets of unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions. So again, this is Anthony Fauci, this is the committee members and staff of the January 6th committee, and this is General Mark Milley, also members of the Capitol Police who testified before the January 6th committee. At the end of this statement announcing these pardons, President Biden makes it clear this is not an admission of guilt. He says, the issuance of these pardons should not be mistaken as acknowledgement that any individual engaged in any wrongdoing. He says what he is doing is protecting them from possible and, in some cases, threatened political prosecutions.
Explain in practical terms how this is likely to work, John.
Well, this means that, there have been talks from prominent supporters of incoming President Trump have talked about a special prosecutor to go and to have criminal prosecutions of these individuals with a preemptive pardon. They would not be subject to those political prosecutions or any prosecutions. We don't know the details, how exactly sweeping this is, but we've seen preemptive pardons in the past. We saw, of course, President Biden do a preemptive pardon of Hunter Biden. We saw President Ford years ago do a preemptive pardon of President Nixon. It basically closes off future prosecutions.
No reaction yet from President-elect Trump, but we know he's planning pardons today as well.
He's planning pardons of the members of the people who were prosecuted for breaking into the Capitol, attacking the Capitol on January 6th. Pardons we expect will be issued today.
Again, the question is whether that extends to people who committed violent acts on January 6th. John Karl, thanks very much. Robin?
It is going to be quite a day.